Shawanda, Shawanda, you have redeemed yourself. You have redeemed yourself. Shawanda, you have redeemed yourself. You hear what I say? You have redeemed yourself, Shawanda. I'm finna give you 2 wrenches because I was getting ready to take your wrench and burn it. Shawanda, thank you so much. I said nothing but love your way because you deserve it. All right, guys, guess what? We are back here. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, my brothers and my sisters. We are back here today because I, for some reason, can't get this out of my system. I was watching, shout out to PP, YouTube content creator. Everybody know Eagle Philly. Everybody know who she is. Trailblazer on these YouTube streets. As a woman, she is a trailblazer on these YouTube streets. And so I welcome her. Commentary. And today I was on her commentary and I said, you know what? I'm going to do my due diligence and just researching this Dr. Umar. And because to be honest, I knew of him, but I was not totally familiarized by him. I didn't know all of his work. So I just took some time today. I had parent conferences today. I know parent conferences was on a Sunday today, so I was off and didn't get a chance to go to church. So I was off today. Hey, Scorpio Mama, I say nothing but love your way because you deserve it, sweetie pie. So I decided, to do some research this morning right before I had to do work. Okay. And so I did. And I came up with a whole lot of stuff. A lot of numbers, a lot of information about this individual, some footage about this individual. She shared some footage of him, and I couldn't find it right off on YouTube. I had asked her to send me a link. I don't know if she did or not because I didn't get a chance to check my messenger. However, I did screen record some key points to the video. And so I told her, I said, hey, I told PP, I said, listen, this is pushing me to do my more research. And this is what this is. I'm giving you what I have found in the research. Y'all know y'all seen my previous show where I pointed out some things that just did not add up about this individual. Okay. Praise the Lord. I know, right? What did you say? Squirt to water, drop your cat. I know, I almost passed out. I don't know what was going on. I don't know what was happening today. Must be because it's the Lord's day. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I have no idea. But anywho, y'all support the channel $CLAYLING. So yeah, so I told her, I said, listen, I am going to go and do my due diligence. You know what I'm saying? Because I came out here shooting from the hip about Umar. I did, based off of what I've seen of him speaking, him personally, not some other YouTuber, and based off of just me doing like skimming across his career, skimming across the scandal, skimming across it. You know, but today I did my due diligence. Today I took my time and do my due diligence. I came up, I got to have at least 10 pages here of research and notes and stuff like that. Okay, because I see how adamant she was in supporting him today. I know. I listen, Shawanda. I get you. This right here is, hey, SBK. I said nothing but love. You were taking a knee. Oh, y'all know who started that, SBK. Scorpio started that. She did that one time in the chat when I had came into the chat and she did that. I said, no, that is pretty cool. So I adapted it and stole it from her. Okay. All right. So Scorpio, trust and believe when I tell you my stances have not changed. However, I do believe in doing something diligent, skillfully, and knowledgeably. And so this is what this live is. I went and scoured the social media and scoured all the way in the corners of the internet. And I'm gonna bring you my fact finding due diligence. Okay, that's what this is about today. Because my stances have not changed at all. However, I do believe in being fair. Some things he said out of his own mouth. You know what I'm saying? And some things the internet has said. Some things the colleges have said. Some things. So we just gonna get off into it. Victims have said. We're just going to get off into it today, okay? Because I feel like, you know, there's two sides to every story. You know what I'm saying? It's two sides to every story, and I ain't trying to drag nobody. So before we even get, you said, SBK, can you feel me? Oh Lord Jesus! Listen, I was on that live SBK last night, and I had made a couple of comments that didn't make it, but y'all was so heavily deep in that. Excuse me, in that show, I had to clench my pearls, and I had to take a step back and just enjoy the show. And then I started drifting off to sleep. I didn't wake up to 2:00 in the morning, and to my surprise, SBK, you guys were still going strong. You understand what I'm saying? So I was like, ooh wee. Oh my goodness. Okay. And y'all know how I get down, but I ain't had the energy that last night to come up. Because for one, it was a bunch of y'all on there. Hey, brilliant blessings. I said nothing but love your way, baby, because you know you deserve it. Yes, you do. So the first thing I want to start before we dive into this in-depth conversation about Dr. Umar is really a fact-finding situation. Okay, that's what this is. I want to say, and I want to put this narrative. Oh yeah, it was most definitely a time to be had last night. You said, sorry I missed your comment. I was waiting for you to come up. Listen, I wasn't in a condition to come up because I was in between two worlds, but I most definitely put something in that comment. I don't want to digress, but I had an experience about one of the things y'all was talking about. You understand what I'm saying? And I put something in there. Maybe when I come on your show, when I could be my alternate ego. You know how your show is a place where I go to escape. You know what I'm saying? Your show is a place where I go and be somebody else. Where my church members can't find me. No. Okay. When you go, I'll let you know exactly what I said. Okay. Before we get off into this fact finding unload, I want to say this, and I want to say it for the people in the back. I want to say it for the people in the bushes. Okay, I got my new computer laptop thing. So this is weird for me right now. But anyway, I want to say this in the back, in the bushes, in the corner, in the dark places, in the creepy crawling things. This is what I want to say. I am not a black woman dragging this black man. That's not what I'm doing here. Okay. And I don't like when something of a scandalous situation come out in the open, or when a black man take a blunder and we talk about it as a community, that we're getting labeled, oh, y'all tearing him down. No, that's not what I'm doing. Okay. And I want to be clear. I promise you, I do not want to see ill to this man. However, we are content creators. Okay. And he is trending. And yeah, I'm interested in the story and I want to talk about it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm not going to tear this man down. However, I am not going to omit facts. I'm just not going to do that. Okay. You see, I'm just not going to do that today. That's what we not going to do today. Okay. And I'm not no another black woman trying to tear down no man, no visionary, no leader. That's not what I'm trying to do. But we're going to call some flags on the plate. Do you understand that? You understand what I'm saying? I'm for him. I'm for what he envisioned. And I'm going to show y'all a visual. I'm going to show y'all a video today. I'm going to show you a video today where he was at his purest, where he was really drinking the Kool-Aid, when he really believed in his initiative and his objection. He truly believed it, and I could see the integrity in his eyes. But some kind of way along the way, it got polluted. You understand what I'm saying? And this man had a wonderful start. He had a wonderful start out of the gate. He did. And he can still redeem himself. He can still redeem himself. And I want to see division come to fruition. I want to see that. And I believe in second and third and fourth and fifth and sixth chances. I believe in all of that. But I also believe in the truth. And I also believe in not gaslight nobody. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I ain't here to gaslight nobody. Do you understand what I'm saying? But we're going to tell the truth today. And it's okay if your favorite superhero, your favorite leader, jump out the window one day without his cape and don't land. It's okay. We just dust them off, pick them up, and say, okay, let's try it again. Don't forget your cape. We all take blunders. We all take mishaps. We all do that. Okay, so let me punch in some of these comments, because I will start running my mouth and won't be punching them in. Okay, this is the whole purpose of me going back over my information, going back, gathering other information, going back, answering some questions that I myself had in my head to put it all out there fairly. Bringing awareness is not the same as tearing the king down. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely. You understand what I'm saying? You say you can't redeem nobody like him. Been doing it too long. Listen, let me tell you something. David went and took his Bathsheba's husband, put him on the front line to get killed, run around and screwed and got her pregnant. But the Bible says that he was a man after God's own heart. The Bible says we have all sinned and come short. You understand? We all got our turn. We all got our turn. You understand? It's just his is on a national level. His has been a little bit longer than ours. But my thing is, I'm just here to talk about it. As a community, I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. I want to point out some things, and I want to fact check some things. Okay. All right. So let's get into it, people. Hey, I said what I said. I said nothing but love your way, because you deserve it, beautiful. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You deserve it. Okay. Let's get into it. That diet and them drugs control him. Oh, Lord. You talking about the dye in his beard and stuff? Okay. We're going to talk about a little bit of something about, not the dye, but we're going to talk about something like that, similar to that. Okay. So Dr. Umar was, the first thing is, he was born in 1974. I did not know that we were so close in age. That's the first thing I did not know. I was born in 76. He was born in 74. So Dr. Umar was born in 1974. And I'm picking up at the part of his life where he did the show. Now, PP showed this clip, and he appeared on the Ya Hour 2010. Okay. And so we're going to share some of the clips of that show, because I couldn't simply find the whole show. So we're going to share some of that, and then we're going to dive into it. Queen needs some active moderators. Yeah. Go on and get, Shawanda, you showing out today. Shawanda, you is showing out. You showing out today, Shawanda. You showing out today, Shawanda. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, God. Oh, God, you are showing out, Shawanda. Okay. He was born in 1974. Okay. Now, what I'm getting ready to do is I'm getting ready to let Dr. Umar tell you who he is, because you got a lot of people out here saying he ain't got this, he ain't this, he ain't that. I did my own research, and I'm telling you right now, the internet, for the most part, is contradicting itself about this man right here. Okay, it's contradicting itself about it, and so, to be honest, I can't really say nothing definitively about him, but I know what they said he didn't get, and I know what the court has said, and I'm gonna share that with you as we move on along about his credentials. Okay, all right. So you say I just left church, Charles. Listen, I couldn't go to church today because I had parent conferences today on a Sunday. I know, but it's orientation, new semester. Y'all know how that go. Okay, so I'm gonna let y'all listen to what Dr. Umar said of his own mouth. We're not going to speak for him, okay? So this is what he said.
And my job is to decide which children goes into special education. School psychology is a certain type of psychology. When most people think of psychology, they think of clinical psychology, which we'll probably talk about a little bit as we go into the ADHD and the psychotropic drug movement against black boys. But a school psychologist is unique because we work in the schools, and we don't primarily do therapy, although many of us are trained to. Our job is to decide who has the learning disability, who is retarded, who is emotionally disturbed, who needs special education. So it is special ed law that basically provides a job for school psychologists. And
okay, I'm gonna play it one more time, guys.
nationally certified school psychologist, and my job is to decide which children goes into special education. School psychology is a certain type of psychology. When most people think of psychology, they think of clinical psychology, which we'll probably talk about a little bit as we go into the ADHD and the psychotropic drug movement against black boys. But a school psychologist is unique because we work in the schools, and we don't primarily do therapy, although many of us are trained to. Our job is to decide who has the learning disability, who is retarded, who is emotionally disturbed, who needs special education. So it is special ed law that basically provides a job for school psychologists. And
okay, so did y'all hear what he said? Okay, and that was, pay attention to the year, is very important. Okay, now this video, this show, he did this show in 2010. Okay, he said that he was a national school certified school psychologist, national certified school psychologist. I'm gonna say it in threes because he liked to talk in threes. National certified school psychologist. Okay, now the only national certification school, a certified school psychologist, the only way you can get that is if you go to NAPS. Back in the day, back in that day, there was an organization that was founded. Let me hold on, and I got the date. Hold on. I got the date in 1969. That organization was founded in 1969. NASP, NASP. That is where you go if you want to be a national certified school psychologist, not a psychiatrist, a psychologist. Okay? These are the requirements that you have to fulfill in order to get your national to be a national certified school psychologist. Number one, you got to complete the NASP graduate program. That's the first thing. Two, you have to pass the school of psychology. You have to pass their school of psychology exam. And that exam is called the S402. You have to pass that. Three, you have to fulfill your internship. Okay. Four, you have to fill out your application for the NCSP certification. Okay. NASP certification. Okay. Those are the four things you have to do in order to be a national certified school psychologist. Notice I didn't say attain a license to be a national or just a psychologist. Okay. I said certification. Okay. All right. SBK, I feel like I've been at the club on. I guess y'all do. Queen gave me, yeah, yeah. Okay, so he in 2010 he identified himself as having a national certification in school psychology. Okay, that particular certification allows you to work in schools with children. Your job is to assess and refer which child needs special education. It doesn't mean that a child is sitting on your couch. That doesn't mean that you have a firm. It does not mean that you have your own location. It does not mean that you have the license to practice psychology or psychiatry on anyone. What it does is it gives you the freedom to work in the school system. And at the time, he was working in the oh God, I have to go down further to figure out where he was at during that time and what school district he was at working in. But at the time, it gave him permission to make referrals to add certain diagnoses on children to refer them to special education. Okay. Now, mind you, I said this was in 2010. I need y'all to really pay close attention to that date. Okay. All right. Yeah, y'all was having a lot of fun. Okay. And this was school psychology, not clinical psychology. There's a difference. All right. In 1975, this is when special education erected. Okay. Now, mind you, Dr. Umar was born in 1974, but the system and the schooling and the curriculum and the founding and the molding and the erecting of special education did not become devised until 1975. Now, mind you, Umar was born in 1974. Okay. Um, the mainstream school. Okay, so this I'm still laying. I'm taking my time, y'all. I'm still laying the foundation on him. Okay, so he obtained his national school certification school of psychology, and that's how he was identifying himself. So then I wanted to dig into his ideology. So now we know his credentials. Okay, so what does he stand for? What does he believe in? Right? Because let's get a clarity of who this man is while we out here making this content and stuff. I still haven't changed my stance, but I want to give a little bit background on who we talking about, okay? And who he was way back when and who he is now, okay? We're going to be fair, all right? Okay, so in this particular show, in this particular clip, he was talking about different systems and how it was destroying the black man and destroying the black culture, and he was giving some of his ideology, okay? He spoke of the mainstream school or schooling system, the public educational systems were pouring out misinformation to black young children, and this misinformation was diluting black people. And so he took it upon himself to kind of do away with that misinformation by coming out and being vocal, by creating foundations, by being prevalent in the community. So he believed that mainstream schools itself is a tool of miseducation. He believes that they teach self-hate to the black man. They teach to love white people. And they teach the black man to love white people, and they teach men to be feminized and to become homosexuals. He said that these three things will equal homosexuality amongst black men. This is what this is what he was saying on this particular show, and I'm gonna let him say it for his own out of his own mouth. Okay.
Do not send your son to a white therapist or a black one unless you know their sexual orientation. Because many of our children are getting psychotherapy from homosexuals who are propagating the lifestyle. Homosexuality is being pushed to exterminate the community. They make the boys gay, they inject them with HIV, they inject it into our systems while they're cohabitating, and that is why HIV is the #1 killer of black women on the face of the earth. They're giving AIDS to the gay.
All right. So he also talked about how when our children began to go to school after the Brown versus Board of Education, when they desegregated schools, that this was counterproductive towards the black community and the black man, and that this was the first time they were able to socialize amongst white individuals, and because of this, homosexuality was introduced to them. Being more soft and more feminine was introduced to them, and this was the first time in large mass amounts where black kids and black men were introduced to middle-aged white women. And he said that this was where the miseducation began. Okay, and so he's talking about therapists and because of special education and them sitting in front of so-called white therapists, that this is what white male therapists specifically, he said, this is what is happening to them. I'm gonna play it one more time.
A natural adolescent male behavior, which is why I always encourage black parents, do not send your son to a white therapist or a black one unless you know their sexual orientation. Because many of our children are getting psychotherapy from homosexuals who are propagating the lifestyle. Homosexuality is being pushed to exterminate the community. They make the boys gay, they inject them with HIV, they inject it into our systems while they're cohabitating, and that is why HIV is the #1 killer of black women on the face of the earth. They're giving AIDS to the gay.
Yeah, me too. I thought, I didn't know we were that close in age. Honestly, I did not. And so that's his ideology. And I'm not speaking for the man. He said it out of his own mouth. That's his ideology. That's what he believes. The video is on PP's channel. Y'all go support her channel. If you guys want to look at the whole video. Okay. So a couple of days. Remember, I want you to keep that day 2010 in mind. He was calling himself a doctor then in 2010. However, he had a national certified certificate in school psychology. Okay. In 2012, he received his doctorate. Um, in 2009, he received his MBA. He went back and got an MBA. In 2008 is when he got his was certified in national school psychology. Okay. In 2001, it also, so it conflicts. The internet is conflicting. So it says in 2008 he got certification, but then it also says he got it in 2001. So there's a first degree and second degree. So in 2001 he got his second degree in certification in national psychology, which I ain't tell y'all, to tell y'all the truth, is the first time I ever heard of this. But anyway, and then the first degree he got in 2008. Okay. All right. So now we know how old he is. We know when he done went and got his education. We know his ideology. All right. So now let's go up into the present day. The present day. So now we know that he procured this school, right? He went and got this school. Now let's talk about how much the school initially cost. Let's go back. Let's go and see how much the school initially cost. Let's go back and talk and see how much the school initially cost. because people have been talking about this school, and it's been a great controversy about this school. Where's the money? You know what I'm saying? Do he own the school? How long he done had it? Did he know this? Did he know this? We're gonna talk about all of that, okay? How much was the school? We all want to know how much was the school. Now I want to make sure that I give y'all the numbers correctly. I was a writing soul today. I was a writing soul today. Hold on, y'all. And then the fees and all that. So we're gonna I'm gonna drive y'all right on up to the present day. Okay. Okay. So in 2014, all right. In 2014, it is said allegedly, and I'm saying this loosely, okay? In 2014, it is said allegedly that Dr. Umar was given a deadline to purchase the school, and he had to come up with $5 million. Okay, somebody just gave him an offer to keep the school. I want the school to work, Scorp. I honestly do. I want the school to work. Okay, now I said what I said. We're gonna come back around to that, because if you was on my other live, you would have heard me when I did the show. You would have heard I did my research on that too, but not as thorough as I did today. Okay, the internet is conflicting on those degrees, and some of the universities have come out. Okay, and some of them he do have. Well, we're gonna talk about it. All right. Now, in 2014, Dr. Umar was allegedly given a deadline to come up with $5 million to purchase the school. It used to be an elementary school, St. Paul, I think. Okay, that was in 2014. Remember 2010 for me, and I want you to remember 2014. Okay, he had a deadline. You got to come up with $5 million to get to school. Okay, you got to come up with $5 million to get this school. You got to come up with $5 million to get this school. Now, it is alleged in 2019, and now they told him in 2014, come up with this, and they gave him a deadline with $5 million. Okay, 5 years later, in 2019, Dr. Umar announced that he had purchased the school. Now, let's go back. How much did the school cost? $5 million. That's the figure he was getting. Now, did they reduce it? Did they work something out with him? Did they shave some of it? I don't know. I'm just telling y'all what I got here. Okay. In 2014, they gave him a deadline to come up with $5 million. In 2019, which is 5 years, he announced he had purchased the school. Okay. Now, the internet, it's got so many different numbers out there. How much money Dr. Umar raised during this time, and how much money. So after he got to school, he was raising money, right? So the internet first figure right offhand when you Google says between $700,000 to $1 million in donations that he got for this school. This is what they're saying. Allegedly. I do not know. I'm just giving y'all the facts. Okay. Allegedly, the internet said that he got in donations in 700 to $1 million. You said, Queen, you said I went to the college that he tried to buy. I remember you saying that, Squirt. You said, so I'm a little invested. I totally get it and I understand. I totally get it and I totally understand. He did not have enough money. You said he did not have much money to purchase the school that you were attending. Okay. In 2016, in between 2019, when he announced, before 2019, when he announced that he purchased the building, in 2016, Umar alleged that someone alleged, the internet alleged that he stated he had raised $700,000 on towards the building. Now, this year, there was another figure that came out. On 7/27, they're saying that he alluded to, allegedly, that he alluded to that he had raised $4 million. So you got like 3, 4, 5 different figures out here, floating out here, okay? He said that he had raised $4 million, which would make more sense. But the thing is this before or after you purchased the school? Did this money go towards the school after you purchased it, or did it go towards you buying it? Because if it went towards you buying it, then it would make sense that you don't have any money, because it costs $5 million. And if you raise $4 million, then you didn't have enough. Okay, then that would answer the question, why ain't nothing really got done in the school? Why you don't have faculty? Why you don't have students? Why there's not a curriculum? Why there's not structure? Why the school hasn't started? Why there's not the repairs are not done? That would make sense to me. That would make sense to me. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. April 2020, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in April 2020 sent out a cease and desist order that prohibits him from accepting donations on behalf of the FDMC-MG school. And you know that is that is the abbreviation for his school, Frederick Douglass Marvis Garvey School. It was alleged due to his fraudulent practices and his status as a psychologist. This is not coming off the internet. This is coming from the court order. This was in April of 2022. Two of the main reasons why they sent a cease and desist order was because of his fraudulent collections and because of his status of his credentials as a psychologist. Moving on. Okay, these are the degrees. I said what I said. We getting into the meat of the thing. Okay, these are the degrees that he states that he has. That Dr. Umar states that he has: a doctorate in PSYD clinical psychology, a BA that's also in the psychology field that was awarded in 2012, a certificate school psychology certification. Okay, however, in 2012, Umar was facing a hearing in the state of Pennsylvania, my home state. My family lived there. The majority of my family lived there in Pennsylvania. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Board of Pennsylvania, Board of Psychology. Let me read that right, because I didn't read it correctly. Okay. So Dr. Umar in 2012 had to go to court, and he had to face the Pennsylvania State Board of Psychology on charges of practicing psychology without a license. Certification and license is two different things. Now, you would say, Queen, how would you know that? Because I work in the education field. I know what a certification is, and I know what a degree is, and I know what a license is. Because schools are licensed by the state law, rules, and regulatory affairs. They have their own set department. It's called LARA. And we have to be in compliances of certain licenses. Therefore, they send specialists out who are licensed to make sure that we are compliant. I have to make referrals to people who are licensed to diagnose. And this is the field where Dr. Umar lives. And I'm not mad at it. And this is what he said. So to that point, I give him the nod. However, when you begin to practice psychiatry or therapy on somebody, instead of assessing and referring things within your credentials, that's two different things. That's where you err at. So in 2012, the Pennsylvania State Board of Psychology brought up charges on him practicing psychology without a license. Okay? He denied being licensed. He obtained certification through the Pennsylvania Department of Education, not the Pennsylvania State University, not the Pennsylvania Community College, but the Pennsylvania State of Education. And they got all type of affiliate programs where educators can go through and get certification and begin to practice within that certification. I myself started out with a CDA, a Child Development Associate Certificate, and I was able to be a noon hour aide. I was able to be associate a teacher. It even opened up the door for me to be in a practicum. It even opened up the door for me to be in a continual education program where I can teach. However, it was a certificate and not a bachelor's and not a license. Okay, moving on. Moving on. So he was brought up on charges on that. Okay. And it made it clear. Now, the reason why I had to bring up that I'm not dragging this man. I am not dragging this man. But when you go off into therapy, talking about you going to tutelage children with behavior issues, when you go on and you start accepting calls from single mothers who have children with disabilities who are reaching out to you because they see how knowledgeable you are. I'm not saying that this man is not educated, and I'm not saying that he don't have degrees, and I'm not saying that, because the internet says that he does have that credential, that certificate, that certification in psychology. The internet does says he has an MBA. They kind of alluded, they contradicting the year when he got it. Now the reason why I want y'all to remember in 2010 is because the reason why he was before the Department of Psychology in Pennsylvania was because he was calling himself a doctor before he had even got his doctorate. He didn't get his doctorate in psychology until, let me get the date correct. Let me get the date correct. I want to make sure I got this date correct. I want to get it. I want because he didn't finish school until 20 something. I forgot. It's in here and I wrote it down because they said he didn't get his degree. They didn't issue him his degree until later. But he was calling himself and practicing as a doctor prior to that, and he got in trouble for that. I really want to get that. Sometimes I can't even read my own writing. I got to make sure I got this right. Yeah, I want to say 2012. Yeah, 2012 is when he got his degree. His degree just bestowed upon him, allegedly. I'm saying allegedly because I want to make sure I don't know because the internet was contradicting itself. However, you saw in 2010 he was calling himself a doctor on that video here that you understand what I'm saying? And so he got in trouble by that by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania uh, uh, Department of Psychology. Okay. A little bit more about Umar. Okay, and his school. Okay, so now he has a school, right? And he was supposed to have this grand opening, and I want to say it was in 2019 or 2009. 2019 had to be 2019. Okay, a lot of things that he said. The reason why it did not open. Okay, number one was um, the unreliable contractors. He kept saying, I heard him say this on a previous video where he was talking about the contractors. They would come and the inspectors would come and they would find one thing and they'll find another thing and they kept it crewing across and they had to start all over with the process. And I know what it is to license a center because I'm going through that. I'm not going through it right now, but I know what it is and I'm getting ready to open up my own daycare. So I've been through erecting centers and running centers. I've been through all that, so I know that there is certain licenses and inspections that you have to pay for. Every time somebody come out and inspect, you got to pay for your own inspector. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand. I can almost see that. Okay. So, but mind you, this is 2025. Okay, like a decade. You know what I'm saying? Over a decade. Unreliable contractors, lack of donations is what stopped it from being open. Um, and remember, the school he had to come up with $5 million. He said that he raised allegedly. One report said $4 million. So I can understand. So lack of donations. Okay. He went on to say racism of state enforcement and regulations. He also said sabotage is one of the reasons why they didn't open. In 2025, they said that they had enough. So the sheriff department said that due to occupied vacancy. So let's slow down for a minute. All of these open all of these ribbon cutting events got pushed back for all of those reasons, right? Now there was a time when he came out and said they had painted the building. He showed the new windows and stuff like that. He was doing that, but still was not open yet. Okay. The reason why he was not open just yet was because he was not licensed to be a school. You can't just paint a building and put windows up and open up and say that you a school. You have to be licensed in that state to be a school. And in order to be licensed to be a school, you have to show infrastructure. You have to show faculty. You have to show it's different for a school. You got to show that you got the faculty, you got the curriculum, you adhere to audit inspection, the rules and the regulations, and you have administrations, and you have most of all students. So that was one of the reasons why he should have put that on the list of things that slowed him down that I just read. He was not licensed to be a school yet. So that's why the school never opened. Okay. In 2025, this here year now, the state of the school, due to it not having faculty, administration, and students, the sheriff department came because it was an unpaid. Did y'all hear me? Did you hear what I just said? Now y'all heard me say back in 2000 something he had to pay $5 million, and then he came up with $4 million. Okay, but the cease and desist order from Pennsylvania, from what is this, Delaware? It's in Pennsylvania, Delaware said that the sheriff department said that they sent out a cease. I mean, they sent out a notice because it was an unpaid Is y'all listening to me when I say unpaid? Unpaid, vacant, and this is the verbiage that the cease and desist. I mean that the not the cease and desist that was in that came out in April in 2000 and in April, that came out in the 2000s or early 2000s, not that, but the new notice that was put on the door said because it was a vacant and unpaid building property and they owed registration fees and outstanding utility bills. Now there was a figure that came out that said 37,000. He owed 37,000. I did an in-depth research, and the actual total allegedly is 76,000. Wait, yeah, $76,776.44. Okay, and this is from unpaid water bills, unpaid fees, and also penalties. And this year, the penalties are going from 5,000. I mean, the fees are going from 5,000 to 12,000. So he could very well have accrued that. Okay, $76,776.44. Okay, and so now because that, and I'm going back to the cease and desist, and some content creators, which I think is unfair to Dr. Umar, have been coming out here and saying the cease and desist is like it happened this year. No, the notice to pay the back registration fees and the property utilities have came out this year, not the cease and desist. The cease and desist been out. Okay, so I don't want y'all to act like it just came out today. However, the cease and desist says that he cannot ask for donations towards that school. Okay, but allegedly he has been asking money to get money to pay this new amount of $76,000, which he is not supposed to do. But he's been on the internet allegedly asking for that. Okay. I want to get it. I'm so conflicted in this. Now I know for a fact that money, some of that money was being misused. However, I do know for a fact that a lot of the bulk of that money probably went to the purchasing of that building, and he simply just ran out. Now, have people been donating to him the whole time, all the way up until this year? They absolutely have. So that to me makes me still wonder, where is the money and where did it go? Dr. Umar said some key points, okay, in his ideology and talked about the schooling system. First thing I want to do is talk about what he said about the schooling system. Let me go back so I can break this down. Okay. He said, the guy on the show, that the clip I just played you, he said that the host said, I wanted to open up a school. He said, but where's the funding? Now, mind you, this was in 2010. Okay. He said, I would love to open up a school. He said, man, but where's the funding? I don't want to take it in the back. Y'all know this video was in 2010, which it sounded like it was in 2076. But anyway, he said, I don't want no money from no crackers. He said, I want it to be funded. I want to fund it. And so Dr. Umar went on and said there are four types of schooling systems. He said there's religious, there is public, he said there is charter, and he said there is private. He said with the religious school, there's no oversight. And I'm saying this for a reason, guys. He said with the religious school, there's no oversight. He said with the public and the charter school is just a variation of public. It's semi-privately owned. He said it's oversight. It's tons of oversight. He said with the private school, you can set your own laws and there's no oversight. Okay. Now, there was a rumor out there that Dr. Umar owed back taxes on this building. I said I'm calling cap because the school, because I heard him say out of his own mouth that the school don't owe taxes because it don't fall in that category, that it is not taxable. Okay, which rung some bells. Okay, Scorpio Mama said his money is going to Ghana. Well, I know he's been frequenting Africa a lot. I want to hop on one of those planes so I can go see my man with him. Okay, uh, um, it's not taxable, which leads me to believe that the school is either under a religious umbrella or that it's going to be that is under a private umbrella, which makes it non-profit. Okay, it makes it non-profit. And if it is non-profit, and the reason why I can say this, and the reason why I can be an authority saying this statement is because I worked for a non-profit for 20 years. And I know how the budget works, and I know the regulations. If it is under a non-profit, he got to show where that money at. And he got to show where it went. And he got to show the receipts to back it up. Which leads me to say allegedly. And I want y'all to understand that all of this content on this video is covered under the Section 107 of the Copyright Act that provides statutory framework for determining whether something or someone is in fair use and identifies certain types of uses, such as criticism, comments, and news reporting. If this school is under the umbrella of a non-profit, then he got to show where all of this money went to. I worked for a non-profit for years, for decades. I know anytime we had a donor, and our donors or benefactors, I mean, they would donate they would will money to my organization. They would die and will their estate to us. And they said that they want all that money to go to the swim department. All that money had to go to the swim department. Even though the child care part may need the money, no, it's got to go to the swim department. Everything had to go to what it is perfect towards. So if people donate and say, I wanted to go towards the school, that money had to go to that school. It could not go to Dr. Umar. It could not go to his planes, his trips, to his bank account. It had to go to a separate business account. All of that money should be reported. And if he is ever called to reproduce every receipt, he better have every receipt. Because what is the law of the country? What is the law of the nation regarding money and fraud? Anything over what? $10,000 is what? An invitation to the feds. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is how the plot is thickening. And this is why I'm saying he better get his ducks lined up in a row. I'm not accusing him or anything. I'm not saying nothing. Because I can honestly see how. If you only raise $4 million in a building that costs $5 million, I can honestly see how. But anything over $10,000, you better have them receipts. Do you understand what I'm saying? Am I dragging him? No. I'm speaking the facts. I don't want that to ever happen to him because let me play this for you. I just want to play it one time and I want y'all to look in this man's eyes. This man believes what he is saying.
Psychologist, and my job is to decide which children goes into special education. School psychology is a certain type of psychology. When most people think of psychology, they think of clinical psychology, which we'll probably talk about a little bit as we go into the ADHD and the psychotropic drug movement against black boys. But a school psychologist is unique because we work in the schools and we don't primarily do therapy, although many of us are trained to. Our job is to decide who has the learning disability, who is retarded, who is emotionally disturbed, who needs special education. So it is special ed law that basically provides a job for school psychologists. And
That man believed every word that he's saying. That man believed every word that's coming out of his mouth. He believed that. That was a moment of purity. When I looked at that video when PP showed that on her show, I said, let me go do my due diligence. Because in the beginning, I truly believe that Dr. Umar believed in the initiative of helping Black people. During that time, I'm telling you, it say the show was in 2010, but it looked like it should have been in 1975 because he almost was like a breath of fresh air. That man believed in the initiative and believed in Pan-Africanism. He did. But all I'm saying is this. If he don't have them receipts, that's all I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So he also said that school socialization, the learned behavior of socialization because of desegregated schools equals homosexuality. Now that to me sounded a little bit radical when he said that in that particular clip. That you can go watch the full video over at PP's. Okay, that screamed radical to me. You understand what I'm saying? That the school system will provide an atmosphere that will produce homosexuals. I can't get with that. Y'all already know my stance on homosexuality. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to offend nobody or anything like that. But that to me seemed a little bit radical. Okay? And he said because of this, and because of the introduction of socialization amongst desegregated schools, it harmed the production and the producing of Black men, true Black men, essentially, which I could not get with. Now, I do know that society has shaped Black men out. I did a whole show on it. I do stand with some tenets, but just not that particular tenet. Other things that he said was used to spew misinformation amongst the Black community was welfare, prison, and the education system, as we referred to. He said it's used to slow down proper population of Black awareness and Black men. He talked about the churches as well. He said that during that time that they didn't have churches that supported African Americans, which I kind of debunked because you have the AME and they were around. They were around. They've been around, and they have funded so many fraternities and sororities and supported, and they are African centric. Actually, the AME Church. So, when did Dr. Umar start collecting money for the school? The internet also conflicted on these dates. One said 2014, and then one said even before he had the school in his physical possession in 2009, he had started collecting donations for this school that he wanted to purchase. In 2014, he started collecting money for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey school. In 2005, he stated that he began to collect money. So listen to what I'm saying. In 2014, the internet is saying that he started collecting money like a GoFundMe or something like that. But in 2005, he verbally said in 2005, he said verbally out of his mouth that he started collecting money because he wanted to start a school. So now it is 2025, and over a decade of funding, it is not able to function as a school because, as I said previously, it is not even licensed as a school yet. You got to have your license to even open up a building. You can have your license and then begin to populate it with children and staff and stuff like that. But it all begins with the inspections and the license. And if he really wanted it to be a school, y'all, and I'm not saying he didn't want it to be a school. Let me take that back. I backtrack. If he was really, really anxious and serious about it being, there should be a licensing on the book, or at least an application of licensing on the book, because that is the first step outside of forming your LLC or your sole proprietorship. Even me, my daycare, my brick and mortar is not in fruition right now, but we are already operational on paper. We are, my name, the government know my name for my daycare, and I have an EIN and all that stuff. It's already on paper because I'm serious about it. Okay. And so it doesn't have accreditation. The school does not have accreditation because it doesn't have staff, faculty, and no students to gauge, to measure. So there's no accreditation due to the lack of student and faculty. Okay. A little bit more of Dr. Umar's ideology. Wait a minute. Scrub said he's a citizen of Ghana. He's going to run when they catch him. He has dual citizenship. Yeah. Dr. Umar ideology is centered around Pan-Africanism and the empowerment of the Black community, dubbing himself the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Some of the key points of his ideology, so we can all be clear on what he stands for, and they're not bad things, is Black unity above all, Black education, critique of systematic racism, Black families, critique of political systems. And controversial and being controversial on homosexuals and Black criticism. Okay, and I cover the other stuff. All right. So this is the thing. This is what I want to say about the school, and we moving on to another part, another portion. The school. This is the thing with Dr. Umar and the school. First of all, it's a massive building, and it was extremely expensive. And I want to say shout out to him for even having a dream and daring to do something like that. Okay, so he's did it. This is my conjecture. This is my personal conjecture. This is not me saying this is what happened. Okay, allegedly. I feel like this dude stepped out here. He wanted a school for his agenda, what he believed in, what his vision was, what he wanted to see amongst the Black community. Okay, he began to get people to rally around him to purchase this building, to do whatever it is. Okay, when you obtain that much money, sometimes you get off track. Your perspective change. The agenda gets morphed and diluted and polluted, and things get off track. And then things can't take flight because you done ran out of this money. But you still hustling and you still asking people to donate. And then the economy changes. Are y'all going with me? Are y'all going with me? Then the economy changes. Then you got personal responsibilities. But you done already set yourself up on this pedestal, and the nation is looking at you as in a certain way now. But you got all these other personal issues that's going on. And you got the school that you want to come together. And so I feel like every now and then you feed in the nation a little something to hold us about this school. Oh, look, we got new windows. Oh, look, we got paint, to push the effort to get more donations. This is my personal opinion. I'm not saying that it's true. Allegedly. And you trying to figure out ways to promote yourself so that you can get this school off the ground and continue to promote the brand and the ideology and the information that you want to put out. So you try to keep yourself relevant. So maybe you touch a little bit of this donation to go fly here to do a speech here. Or maybe they pay for you to come. People talking about how, you know, he has his separate money. People pay him to go here. People pay him to go there. People donate to, okay, that's still funds and money, okay, that could have went towards your dream, your baby. Because in school, your baby, right? This is your baby. This is where all of your concepts and ideology and all of your education and your curriculum that you have, that you are formulating, is going to come to fruition and is going to be implemented for young men all over the world and the country. Why wouldn't you want this to be up off the ground? So yeah, all of the resources got to go here. So maybe he don't need the donation money. Maybe he is making his own money. Why are you not taking somebody's money and putting it in that building? Because it should not be laying dormant for a decade. Nothing's going on in the building but some windows and some paint. Life circumstances changes. Maybe he couldn't afford it. I'm not dragging this man. But my thing is, don't live in a lie. Don't sell us a fantasy. Come out with the real numbers so we can understand. Even just taking a dive into this thing, I said, oh, maybe he did run out of money. If the building costs $5 million and you only raise up to $4 million, you need an extra $1 million. That makes sense. I understand it. On top of the unpaid vacant registration fees associated with that particular city. Okay, and it's like $5,000. That's money that you ain't got. I get it. But when you walking around here, you can't pay those bills, and you accepting money that's supposed to be going towards that agenda, that building. But we see you taking all these private planes and going to Africa. You can go to Africa. You grown. You understand it. But in the back of your mind, you got to know that building is a money hole. That building probably need to be sold. And maybe you downside or something. But at the end of the day, lack of funds got you here to where you are right now. And that ain't no allegedly. They want their money. The sheriff want their money. And this ain't me dogging this man. This is facts. How can you receive money all of the time up until this moment and still owing somebody? That means you don't take that trip. That means you don't buy all them clothes that lady said is in your house, allegedly. That means you don't flying folks out and sending cars and stuff because you got this amazing ideal and this amazing school that you want to get erected. See, when you're building a business, and trust me, I have built a lot of businesses. When you're building a business, it's like all hands on deck. This is a wonderful thing that I want to see happen. I want to see this happen. This is a great ideal. I want to see it happen. The only thing that I request is that you get some show enough professionals in there. Some show enough teachers in there. The course that you want to teach on Pan-Africanism, let it be a extracurriculum thing. Because we can have our own ideology all that we want. But when you start preaching radicalism and you start preaching stuff that is not founded scientifically, stuff that's not founded, that you can't find in a textbook that makes sense, then you are separating yourself from a school to a church. Then you started teaching theology, and you're starting to teach a belief system, a belief set, a belief of faith. Then you might, you're no different than Muslims or Christians, because you believe in this ideology that is not founded by mainstream education. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. But you can't call it a school. You can call it a center, a community center, a recreation center. It can be a private academy. You can't call it a school. And so that's why people get off. And they get a little weird. You understand what I'm saying? When they start listening, it's just that you got to be legitimate when you're talking about teaching somebody kid anything. You're gonna teach. You're talking about a therapist teaching homosexuality. People are leery about you teaching their kids about your personal ideology. If they can't find your own personal ideology in a book somewhere, then you might want to relabel what it is that you're doing. Hey, Urban, I said nothing but love your way. That's the only problem that I have. You understand what I'm saying? My advice for Dr. Umar, and I'm saying this wholeheartedly, and I'm not tearing him down because I want to see him win, but I want to see him win legitimately. What I want you to do but in a minute, you ain't gonna really have a choice because, like I said, out of those 4 choices that he said out of his own mouth, the 4 types of schools are public, private, charter, and religious. 2 of them are considered nonprofit. The other 2 is much rules and regulations and government oversight. Now, he said his school is non-taxable and ain't no oversight. So that leads me to believe that you are a nonprofit. Again, if you are a nonprofit, they're going to want to see where that money went. And for the people in the back, again, anything over $10,000 is a federal crime. And they're going to need... So my advice is this. However, how ugly it look or however it look, come out with the receipts, come out with the documents, Dr. Umar, come out with the form and say, hey, you know what? This is the truth right here. Some money was misappropriated. What can you do now? Because you can't change history. Some money was misappropriated. The building cost $5 million. I came up, y'all donated and gave me 4. It wasn't enough. Maybe the city gave you a little leeway because of who you were, or they just, COVID came and slowed things down, and whatever. But I ain't got it, and this is where we at, and they about to take it. Now you can't ask them for no money to help you out because of the cease and desist that the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania gave you. They said you can't ask for no more money because of the status of the status of your degree and the fraudulent behavior of the funding. That's on the document. This queen ain't making that up. So you can't ask for no more money. But at least come out with the facts so people can know where their money went. And people who hey, don't ask me if I donated because I didn't. I didn't even know who he was until maybe 2 years ago. Okay. Nope. I didn't donate, but this is the land of the free, and I can talk about it. Okay. I will hope to believe that people who have donated to this cause would like to see where their money went. My mother donated to the Jews faithfully, and I feel like as a memorial to her, every now and then, I want to donate to the Jews. But I also want to know, is it really going to the Jews? You understand what I'm saying? And I don't hate this man. Some of the stuff that he was saying, I agree with. But at the end of the day, when you start doing that rhyming and fast talking and stuff ain't coming to fruition after a decade, I'm looking at you sideways. I'm telling you right now, I grew up in the inner cities of Detroit. And I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all gonna have to give me a pass on this. I know a con when I see a con. But this ain't what I think the conning came towards the end because he began to start living in survival mode. But in the beginning, I believe this man believed his initiative. You said Umar doing the Lord's work. Who? Which Lord? The Lord of the Rings? The five lords of leaping? Anyway, in the beginning, when he first started out, I truly believe this man ate, drunk, bled black empowerment. I truly believe that. But some kind of way he lost his way. And I believe that he's covering up from covering up of several missteps that he has made in regards to this school. But all you need is a moment of truth to just come clean. You understand what I'm saying? Because people gave you up to that you said out of your own mouth $4 million, and it's in the same shape that it was in for decades. Only it got a fresh coat of paint and some new windows and a couple of designs on the wall. That ain't gonna fly. Because $4 million, honey, you could have sold that building and say we moved to a smaller location and we're gonna open up something a little bit smaller, but it's gonna have the same principles. And it's okay. If you want to teach everybody how to be a duck, you in the right country. You can go get you a small building and buy some flippers and a beak, and everybody can walk around and waddle like a duck. And that's your prerogative. Whatever you want to teach, you can go ahead and teach it. But when you start asking people for money to help you teach that, that's where the issue come at. Because people work hard. People get attached to you emotionally by what you're saying because you articulate. You're a great orator. You can talk and you know how to reach to the people's emotions. You know how to articulate what we can't articulate, the frustration that we have that we can't articulate. You know how to stand on a national scale and stand toe to toe to our oppressions and articulate and convey ideas well. That's why people came behind you, because you were articulating how we were feeling. And so now we trusted you. Earlier, salute to you. So we trusted you. And we came behind you because you were making sense at one point. It ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. And I'm not saying there ain't nothing wrong with that. But you done got off. And now you done started lying. And now you scrambling. And I hate to see this school come out, be gone. Somebody that's Pan-African or Peter Pan or somebody need to be taking it over, because I would love to see a school that's geared towards children with maybe disabilities or people who believe in Pan-Africanism. I want to see Black empowerment. But to be honest, I work for an African-centered school, so it ain't like this is just one of its kind. I worked for an African-centered school for the Detroit Public Schools. It was the Paul Robeson School, and it was centered around Black excellence. Every day we recited the 7 principles of Kwanzaa every day. Okay? But we're going to stick with the facts on this thing. And it's too much. And even the internet said that it's so much unknown around your degrees and the years that you obtained them. And even one of the universities, and I said what I said. I was going to talk about the university. One of the universities, and this is how I know stuff is shady. Maybe they're trying to protect you. I don't know. But one of the universities said they cannot nor confirm or deny. All they know, at one point you were enrolled, but to as which allegedly what degree you get, they can neither confirm nor deny. And for your dissertation that is required to be online and searchable and accessible, they can't find it. They can't find it. They can't find it. They can't find it. Everybody know if you got a doctorate, if you got a master's degree, you got to write a dissertation. They can't find it. Now, if you got it, this is why I say, Dr. Umar, this is what I'm saying. Come out with your proof and shut the haters down. That's why I made the comment in PP's live earlier. He can shut all the haters down by coming out with his receipts. Coming out and saying, this is where the money is, this is where it's appropriated, this is my dissertation, this is my degree. Now, there was a graduation where one of the family members said they attended, you know what I'm saying? Some degrees he do have. They Woody P could said that he do got a BA. You know what I'm saying? That he do got this and he got that. Okay, but the main one that your money maker, the Commonwealth State of Pennsylvania said you do not have a license to practice. Now, you can sit in the school and send referrals for kids who need special education. You got credentials to do that. But you can't put nobody on the couch and do no one-on-one therapy session. You ain't got the credentials for that. That's clinical, and you ain't got it. Allegedly. Degrees mean everything when you're tutelaging other people's children. You need to be knowledgeable in what you're talking about when you're talking to impressionable children and family that is in heartache and pain because they don't know what to do about their kid, or they don't know which doctor to take them to, or they're displaying some type of physical or emotional impairment and they don't know how to label it. I need somebody that's knowledgeable in that field that can diagnose my child so I can send them to the right physician. Yes, it does, because you got to go to school for almost 10 years to get that information. Because you got on a dashiki and you can put a couple of syllables together. Listen, I'm going to need you to know a little bit more than that. When it comes to my child, my family member. Because that is what we measure our educators by in this here country. Now, if you want to go somewhere else, then take your tail to Zua Kakalinke and take him with you. You said he can request to have his degrees private, just like having all. Yeah, he can. He can. He can, Urban. He can. But you better know more than lift every voice and sing to be talking to my kid. Degrees mean something when it comes to my pay. Come on. You better, hey, they ain't let you in the door unless you got a bachelor's in my area, in my field of education. That's where the real money at. You can talk about you got a certification and certificate if you want to. He needs to request prayer for his daughter running. Yeah, and I'm very sympathetic in regards to his daughter. And I didn't do a whole bunch of research on that portion. But what I did see that was floating past me, there needs to be some repair there. And I'm not dragging him about that. We ain't talking about that today. But there needs to be some repair because listen, as a parent, you want to, you should want to have a relationship with your kid. Am I telling the truth, Brilliant Blessing? That's the problem now. And I talked about this in my other live. We are so impressionable when it comes to Black civil rights leaders. We don't care where you be, and as long as you can talk good and look good in the suit, and you can show off, and you can make white people shut up, and you can make people come be erupted by thunderous applause, and you can put those words together, and you look good saying it, we gonna rally behind you. And you could become straight off a Cracker Jack box and won't nobody say nothing because you sound good. I'm gonna really need you to know what you're talking about and be skillful. The Bible talked about being skilled. Ain't no need to be saying I'm a teacher if all my kids come out not knowing nothing. You said Scorpio said a begging family, his mama on social section. I know all of that. Yeah, I saw that. That's why I said life changes, economic systems change, and maybe things got a little rough for him, and the vision started to seem far off. And he just kind of was dismissive of some things, and stuff just began to pile up on him. You know what I'm saying? That's understandable. Because we all, at some point in our life, know that I forgot to pay my light bill this month. Support the channel. $sign CLAYLINT. Shawanda. I forgot to pay my light bill. I did. I had so much going on. Those moments happen. But when you got a building and a light and the water bill is probably $3,000, that's a situation. And if you ain't got no lights, you can't operate. If you can't operate, the city gonna shut you down. Come on. I understand it, Umar, but the thing is, you got to come out here and be real. Real, recognize real. We may rally behind you. If I heard that, they're like, oh man, let me help this dude out. But when you go around talking about sabotage, deception, governmental sabotage, racial inequality in the city, nobody wants to hear that because some people is looking at the bills. You said it, Urban said it only matters for status. Anyone can be educated without a degree. It's called experience. Yeah, we get all of that, but you ain't going to teach and make no money and teach nobody classroom on experience. That mean they may go towards your resume. They may look at that and say, oh, he got 20 years of experience, but do you got that degree? They don't care about that. We in America. If you want to speak, if you want to teach foreign language, if you want to teach traditionalism, if you want to teach fables and how information was handed down from time to time, traditionals and oral dictation from one another, then go to Africa. Go up on a hill and get a couple of people gathered. You can go ahead. They call it a cult. That what you want to be a leader of a cult? Then go ahead. Brilliant. Said Urban in my field, you can't even accept a position, more or less get an interview without a verification of a bachelor's degree. And many companies don't play no more. They using, you know what, bro, you're absolutely right. Back in the day, they had this thing going around where people was doing fake bachelors and getting jobs with fake bachelors, and then years after they do the actual real research and see that you ain't really got no degree. I remember hearing that a lot. But they ain't playing that. You got to have a bachelor's, baby. That's the associates will get you in the door as an assistant. That's the minimum. Yeah. I don't know what to say about these people. But people, I hope y'all enjoyed this show. I hope that y'all see that I was trying to be fair. But I'm going to call a spade a spade. And my stances and stuff not changed. They changed a little bit. I do believe there was some lying. There was some trickery and some wizardry going on towards the end of this thing up until this year because he saw things going awry and he was just trying to stay above water. Okay? So I believe there was some money that was taken that was not used towards that, where the money was purposeful. I do believe that. You said I almost forgot to wash my, you know what? I'm done with you, Score. I'm done with you, Urban. You said I'm a real life experience and skills are the most important, but employers do require documentation for those skill positions. They do. They want to know, have you went to an institution to teach you how to they want to know if you've been to a university or institution that teach you the method of teaching. They want to know, do you have the methodology to know how to teach, have classroom management? They want to know, can you convey the concepts and the content correctly towards these early learners? Nobody wants you teaching what your mama taught you. I got a specialist that come in annually, surprisingly, to make sure that I'm doing the method right. And if I ain't doing it right, she's going to give me the correct strategy and the correct verbiage and the way to teach. You got to go to school, Urban. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Y'all share this out. Now, I hope I was fair. Did I tear this man down? No, I told the truth. I'm telling you, the thing to do right now, Umar, to keep your following and to keep us all encouraged is to tell the truth. Be transparent, because if you don't do it now, allegedly, I'm foreseeing that you're going to do it later in court because you're already over that 10,000 threshold, or what they consider as a felony, a federal crime. Okay? And all that other scandalous stuff, about women, that the women that you got going on, everybody ain't lying. Everybody is not lying. And for you as a community leader, as a Pan-African prince, out here talking about the way somebody vagina smell, is truly ridiculous. Because everybody know, if you went to school, you got your degrees, know that vagina, and y'all excuse me if any kids in the room, just gone out, has an odor. Every vagina has an odor, people. Did I say it? I said every vagina has a scent, but it's supposed to be a healthy scent. When it starts smelling like the food that you eat, when it starts smelling like funk, then you got a problem. I'm saying it out loud for people who don't want to say it. And the real men gonna tell you that they like it. And history tells us that you liked it too. I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. Because I'm 49 years old. When I heard that, when I saw him come out there and talk about that girl vagina and the way it smells, I'm like, you need to get up out of here. Because at the end of the day, and I'm going to say this, I hope ain't no church members on here. After you get done rolling around and hanging off of chandeliers and bending over and spinning and spitting and slapping and clapping, everybody going to need a shower. I mean, that's just the way God made us. I'm just telling you the truth. So you come out here talking about some, her vagina stink, yours probably stink too. Y'all both probably needed a bath. Go in there, take a shower, get cleaned up, and we come back in round two. Change the sheets. That's how it go. I'm going to need you to shut up. What you tried to do was embarrass this woman. Because you didn't like the way she was moving or whatever may transpire. I don't know. Am I telling the truth? Y'all better, am I telling the truth? Am I telling the truth, people? Married people, am I telling the truth? Am I telling the truth? People looking like, what? I'm telling the truth. I said what I said. I'm not saying nothing bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, something is wrong with you internally. I'm just saying. If there's a reason why people take showers. Let's pretend. We're all gonna pretend. Maybe I took y'all too far. Okay, come on back. But anywho, how you doing, Cherokee? BK Cherokee, how you doing? Urban, I don't know. Okay. Queen, thank you, brilliant. Thank you, because people had me thinking I had said something wrong. Thank you and welcome. Today's your day because you deserve it. Okay? I want you to know that. I'm doing excellent. I am doing excellent. I said nothing but love your way because you deserve it. I'm telling the truth, y'all. Thank you. I said what I said. I'm 49 years old, and you better believe that I've been in a whole lot of positions in the middle of the night on a hot summer night, and the sweat was beating down my face, and both of us needed to go get in the shower, and we did. And I didn't come out here on this news, on this social media, and went and talked about my partner, talked about how he smelled. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, the queen probably needed and did put some soap on me because I had something going on to myself. But for that man to get his big dense self on this live and talk about that woman is ridiculous. Because if she was with you, you probably put that foreign object in her and threw something off. I'm gonna need y'all because y'all are inserters, we are receivers. Am I telling the truth? Come on, brilliant. Come on, brilliant. You understand what I'm saying? That's humanity. If you didn't need to take a shower, we would take one every day, but we need it. But you came out here with your highly educated 4-5 degree self. I mean, as if you didn't know anatomy, because you have to take that class for the degree you say you get. How do I know? Because they call me Dr. Clayleen Bright. That's why. I'm looking at my degree. I'm looking at it right there on the wall, right there. Looking at it right there. You understand what I'm saying? And so for you to come out here and try to embarrass this woman like that, now that's the only thing I'm really gonna drag you for. I'm sorry, because y'all know I am a supporter of women. Okay? It's ridiculous. 2 grown folks is having sex. Come on. And then you come out here and talk about how her vagina smelled, and then you talk about how she performed on you. You should have been giving her an award. Because apparently, according to you, she did her thing. So much so that you created a name for her. She stained your brain. But then you're going to drag her for the very thing that you lusted after her for. Because you a man. And it's a double standard. And so now you want society to see her as a whore and not the whore that she was for you in the bed that you enjoyed. With your no integrity having self. Because you enjoyed it. Thank you, Shawanda. You doing your thing today, boo. Support the channel, $CLAYLING. You understand what I'm saying? You kissing and telling out here no integrity. You can't be trusted now. I can't see no woman really laying down with you. Because I don't know if my junk going to be on the internet. You going to talk about me? Queen had 4 rolls on one side of the back and 2 on the other side. I don't know. I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? I just don't know. Lust had the man in a chokehold, got him out here unable to make sense. It ain't making sense. Bro, I got a video on my shorts. Y'all go support the shorts. I'm digressing for a minute. Go support the shorts because the shorts is a brain break. It is there for when you on at work and the boss will piss you off and you need something to just go where you don't have to have no type of structure to your thought process. Just go to my shorts. They are intentionally intended for that. So I got some shorts out there that's dedicated to sensory, that's dedicated to for people who like to watch food. What is that AMS stuff? That the sound. I got that there on there. I got some things that people like. If you like comedy, it's on there. I put it up there and I try to refresh them daily just for my subscribers that are looking for 10 minutes of brain break. I'm thinking about y'all when I'm putting them up there. I'm not just putting them up there because, I like that video. I'm thinking about what can relax my subscribers throughout the day. What could be a timeout for you all? Where can y'all escape to? Y'all can escape to my shorts. And I've been getting tons of support, and I thank y'all for supporting. One short, I'm so excited. I don't know where it's at now, but the last time I looked at it, it had over 200,000 views. That is a milestone. And I want to say thank you, guys. And for those who are watching the replay, I say thank you. Because you don't have to support, but you do. Urban said, at least he acknowledged her role in their experience. Shut up, Urban. Shut up, Urban. He didn't have to acknowledge it publicly and try to embarrass her. And you know what this classy woman did? Because it couldn't have been me. Because y'all know me. I would have went hard in the paint. She got up on a social media outlet and they asked her, well, how did he smell? And she covered him. She said, well, I really couldn't identify a scent or anything like that. And I call cap on that all day because I don't know what's going on underneath that dashiki. I'm big and I know when you put meat on top of meat, fat roll on top of another fat roll, it's going to sweat. Lies. But she covered him. She covered him. She covered him. It couldn't have been me. Could not have been me. Do you understand? I'd have been like he sweated from the crown of them nappy dreads to the sole of that bent over cornfield toe. Oh, I would have did it. I'm sorry. You ain't gonna come out here and do that. That's horrible. And that's one of the things that men do. When y'all get mad at a woman or you feel rejected by a woman, oh, funky this and funky that, oh, funky this, or once a month, blankety blank. I'm like, bro, come on. Because we all know that one little slither of foe underneath the sack of creation will give you a concussion if you get too close. And it's on a hot summer day. Everybody knows this. We all know this as wives and women. We just said, baby, you miss a spot. You might want to go. And I love you because I'm attracted to your sin. I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna share something. Should I share it or should I not share it? Should I share it or not? I don't know. Well, anyway, I'll say it like this. Because I think I was talking about scents on SBK show last night. Men are drawn to certain pheromones of women. And women are drawn to certain pheromones of men. You understand what I'm saying? When you're married for so long, and this is, mind you, this is my second marriage. When you are married for so long, you get attracted to that man's scent. You understand what I'm saying? You get attracted to their scent, not the cologne, but their actual body scent. That's grown people talk. And I don't know why people is acting new. You understand what I'm saying? You get attracted. I don't care. Now, my husband could just come. You said that Paul Queen, yeah. My husband come off of work. He may be musty or something like that, but I'm sitting underneath that musty arm. I'm sorry. That's just how I roll. I'm gonna sit there for a minute and love on my man because it's us. And that's my man musty arm. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I don't care. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't care. Do you hear what I say? My husband, when I first got to Africa, he don't watch the show, so he ain't gonna see it. And don't nobody say that y'all heard me say this because I'm gonna deny it and I'm gonna private the video. Okay, so don't y'all mess it up for everybody. Okay, y'all better not say nothing. Do you hear what I say? Y'all, I promise y'all say something. I promise you, it's gonna be a problem for everybody. Okay. Fresh off the airport, I get into Africa. Africa heat is like 350 degrees when you baking chicken, plus some. Okay, so I get in there, and I'm seeing my man. I'm so happy, you know what I'm saying. And then we got to get on a second leg of the transportation to get to the hotel. I'm sitting next to him real close because we sitting in this taxi bus, and it's like 50,000 other people behind us, and we sitting real close. And the first time I smelled my husband's underarms, man, we in Africa. I'm quite sure he might have smelled my underarms too. You understand what I'm saying? But I had on deodorant, and I'm quite sure he didn't have on deodorant. But I smelled his underarms. You know what I did? It was something about him, honey. I pushed my arm underneath his armpit. I did. And I enjoyed it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it was my man's scent. It was his scent. And I didn't care. I didn't care. I did not care. I did not care. I was like, oh, this smells so good. And we was laid up on each other because it was a tight fit in there. And I loved every minute of it. Do you hear what I say? I love every minute of it. I don't care what that's grown folks talk. That's your husband. It's yours. So you come out here talking about you smelled her. So you still went on and screwed her. So you obviously didn't have a problem with it. So if you didn't have a problem with it, why come out here and say something? Oh, that cake was a little bit tart. Did you eat all 5 pieces of it? I did. You sound stupid. You said it is true. African honor their scent. The stronger the scent, the more manly that. Girl, let me tell you, I said what I said. I don't know if it was because, you know what I'm saying, it was I don't know if it's because we was the first time up on each other. I don't know what came up on me, because I guarantee you I'm not coming up on nobody up in here. Oh, you know what I'm saying? But that man, I'm looking at my husband and what we were going through in that airport, and I'm just, and we were exhausted because it's like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. We still traveling, honey. I laid my head on his shoulder and dove my head right underneath his armpits because I was tired, and I was good. I don't care what nobody say. I was good. I was good. And I was fine. And the first thing he said, babe, we got a hotel. He said, babe, okay, we shower now. I said, yeah, let's go take a shower together. Hello and goodbye. And we did. You understand what I'm saying? And everything was good. And we all came out smelling like roses. You understand what I'm saying? He said, I ain't smelling no musk. Scorpio, ain't nobody talking about you. We talking about queen to queen. I'm hood. I'm straight hood. Okay. Yeah, he said, okay, babe, we go take shower. Okay, we go take shower. But at the end of the day, I know my man sent from across the room. If I had to identify him blindfolded, I know him. I know Mads. And you know what he told me? He said, babe, I can appreciate it. I have not smelled you the whole trip. I said, well, you're welcome. I love my husband. You understand what I'm saying? And that was, and well, I'm saying this to prove my point. But I'm not embarrassed by him, and I'm not saying it in a derogatory way. But there's no way in the world I would come out here and try to trash my husband. You know, I thought that was low class of him, low balling. But you want somebody to look at you up here, but you acting like down here. I'm gonna need you to lift your life up. I'm gonna need you to lift your life up and your verbiage up. You can't keep secrets. A woman needs to know that they man can keep secrets in the most intimate and private times of their relationship. You can't keep secrets. So when I look at you, when I saw that, I didn't laugh at that woman. I was looking at you like you defrauded. You ain't got no integrity. That's how I was looking at you. Like you fraudulent in the mud. You said a brill the kids must be musky. You said the kids be musty too. You said that, Scorpio. I think that is their culture. Well, for one, it's 105 degrees over there. So if you put some deodorant on, honey, it's gonna melt off immediately. You know what I'm saying? You just got to keep doing it. That's all I can tell you. You said that red dot be musty too. Scorpio, I'm about to put you in the room and lock the door. I'm about to put you in the room and lock the door. That's what I'm about to do. Put you in the room and lock the door. If y'all want me to put her in the room and lock the door, everybody raise their hand. Put her in the room and lock the door. When she's showing out. But yeah, I think that was low class of him. He shouldn't have been doing that. And then now I'm looking at you like you ain't no leader. You ain't protecting the people. You didn't protect that woman. And you accusing her of getting in your books, and that's why the building is getting taken away. That's why your accounts is being frozen, because this woman somehow got into your stuff and froze did some type of fraudulent thing. When that ain't the case, you've been owing stuff for decades. You ain't know her way back when. You been had those issues before you met her. But now she the cause of it. I mean, you trying to formulate all type of fairy tales so we can understand why this is happening to you. You are the blame why this is happening to you. Nobody else but you. But all you gotta do is come out here and tell the truth. Just like your mama said. Now who went in there and went and got that last cookie? That's all we asking you, Umar, is who did you eat the cookie? Did you eat the cookie? Did you eat the cookie? No, Lisa. You said you love her. She good. Okay. You said did y'all shower in the creek? No, baby, we showered in a 5-star hotel. It was a presidential hotel. My I said us, we weren't done, but when we saw the hotel, we looked at it because it was good fees, right? And I'm like, oh, let's get this good fees, right? So he wouldn't pay for the hotel. Come to find out, it was a brand new, spanking new presidential hotel. We saw, well, he saw African celebrities. Doggone near lost his mind. I didn't know who they was, right? He taking pictures with people. I'm like, and we didn't know it, but honey, it was a 5-star hotel, beautiful hotel. A jacuzzi, a shower, glass, all type of stuff. You understand what I'm saying? I put the video up on one of my vid lives. I showed the hotel. They just built it. It was on the news over there. It was on the news over there. And we walking in there, didn't even know what we had did. No, if the lights was on, sport, and everything was flapping and floating and moving and wet. It was a wonderful experience. You understand what I'm saying? It was a wonderful experience. It was a wonderful experience with air conditioning. Yeah. All right, guys. I hope that you have enjoyed this live. Share it out. I hope that y'all saw that I was not biased. Now I was a little bit biased towards the end, but for the most part, I think I did my due diligence in sharing the best I could about this individual. Don't y'all drag me. Don't talk about me. If you for Umar, I don't hate you. I'm not hating on you. I know how to coexist. And listen, it ain't even no big thing. It's just that you for him, and I believe that some things don't line up. Do I hate him? No. Am I a hater of his? No. Am I a supporter of his victims? Yes. You understand what I'm saying? But we can coexist. And guess what? I want you to continue to support me, and I most definitely is going to continue to support you, because guess what? This is only a story. This is a major big thing in his life and not in ours. And we all just need to get along, because guess what? And 48 hours, 72 hours, this is going to be gone away unless they decide to take him to jail. Okay? And we're going to be talking about something else and debating about something else. So let's not be too serious about this, guys. For real, for real. Please don't take this thing to heart. Don't y'all be unsubscribing for folks and blocking folks and all this stuff. Don't be doing that, because it's not that serious. It is not our life. It is this man's life and the people that are affected. Do y'all understand? If you blocking and unsubscribing people, I'm gonna think something is mentally wrong with you, like you overly invested. Okay? All right, y'all. Okay, let's just be cool. Let's just be cool, okay? Urban, why are you making that face right there? What's your problem? Urban, you better not have put your hand up. Squirrel, sometimes you need to be put away and then bring back out again, because you be cutting up, okay? You be cutting up. Thank you. Thank you. I said what I said. Thank you so much. Thank you to my moderators that moderated the heck out of this show. Shawan, you did your thing today, girl. You did your thing today. Scorp, you always doing your thing. Urban, did you share this live out? And what did you do today, Urban? As my moderator, what did you do? Y'all, can I say something before I get off of here? I love me some Urban. Do he get on my nerves? He absolutely do. Do we disagree on most things? We absolutely do. But guess what? I have to give him his respect. I have to give him his flowers on how he run his show. I gotta give it to him. He stand 10 toes down on what he believes in, his ideology, and he comes and he displays it and emulates it in the most entertaining way. He's very interesting to me. And so that's why I mess with him. I got no problem with him. Keep it up, Urban. Keep it up, and I'm gonna set your wrench on fire. Keep it up. Bye, Scorp. I love you. All right, guys, this is your queen, Clayleen, saying be great. Listen, do something nice for somebody. If it's nothing but saying hello, if it's nothing but, sharing your lunch. Maybe somebody ain't got no lunch. If it's nothing but giving somebody some gas money. If it's nothing but saying a silent prayer for them or opening up the door for them or giving them a hug or being a listening ear, because guess what? You reap what you sow, and it's going to come back to you 100-fold. This is your Queen Clayleen saying, be great. Bye bye.